Now at 6 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, the family of Amanda Johnson waiting for justice 2 years after her murder. And we have new details on that stabbing incident at Yamato restaurant. Plus, the body of the second twin swimmer found today in Galveston.
Some of you are already planning for the weekend. Well, get ready for it. It's going to be a good one. A little on the warm side, however. Temperatures right now 70s for us, 80s this afternoon, and almost 90s for the weekend. We'll have all that coming up in just a moment. Now sports.
And our Pepsi Athlete of the Week can lift way more than you. Coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Karina Garcia. Don Brubaker will be back tonight at 10. Family members of Amanda Johnson waiting for justice. The single mother was killed in April of 2021. She was found when two hunters stumbled upon the crime scene on April 18th. The Matagorda County Sheriff's Office found human remains inside a burned out 2018 Ford Explorer that belonged to Johnson. Amanda Johnson was 38 years old and was a mother to two children. Now, the defendant, 30-year-old Fernando Colin Acosta Jr., is out on bond. Acosta Jr. is charged with murder, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. A status conference was held today, which allows the court to determine whether the case is progressing and ready for pre-trial hearings. The DA there says it does not appear that this case is taking longer than usual. And this brings us to your viewer poll. Scan that QR code on your screen to participate. Most murder cases go to trial within 1 to 2 years, and the Sixth Amendment guarantees criminal defendants to have a speedy trial. So why do you think it is taking almost 2 years to bring Fernando Acosta Jr. to trial? We take a look at these results, and 25% say Matagorda County is too small, 75% it's a complicated case, 0% say a special prosecutor is needed, and 0% say he has a good defense attorney. We want to keep on hearing from you. Come to CrossroadsToday.com/vote, and we will have an update on 25 News Now at 10. We have new details in that stabbing incident Tuesday afternoon at Yamato restaurant on North Navarro. 70-year-old Ledwan Zhu is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. A police report says the 47-year-old victim and Zhu were involved in an argument in the walk-in cooler at the restaurant. Zhu is accused of grabbing a beef fillet knife and striking the victim 5 times. One of those strikes resulted in a cut below the victim's left eye. It was a minor injury and the victim remained on the job. Officers say Zhu ran off and was found hiding in a bus parked near the area. Bond for Zhu is now set at $60,000. Jackson County Sheriff's Office reports a fire at County Road 313 near Vanderbilt. Additional brush trucks have been sent to the incident area to hold containment of the fire. A second boy has been found in the search for 13-year-old twin boys who went missing while swimming in Galveston over the weekend. Authorities tell KTRK the second teen's body was found at about 1 a.m. near 47th and Seawall. Authorities said the other twin was pulled to shore Tuesday morning by a group of people who were walking on the beach. The boys disappeared at about 4:30 p.m. Sunday when they were last seen swimming on the west side of Pleasure Pier, about 20 yards from the shore. And now let's take a quick break and go to the forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Bettis.
Thank you very much, Karina. Folks, now we're all going to be getting outdoors. We're going to be boating, getting the ski-doo and all that stuff. And as you saw right there, we just need to be careful. So start planning, get your instruments and your equipment ready to go. Temperature today was 86. That was our high, compares to a normal high of 74. We've been as high as 93 on this date. It'll be quite warm over the weekend, but there's a little glimmer of a cool down early next week, and we'll have all that coming up in just a moment. 25 News Now continues.
Mac, thank you. And this is a reminder that the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs is reopening the Texas Rent Relief Application Portal from March 14th through the 28th. These funds will help eligible households with rent and utility payments. Eligible households can apply for assistance online at texasrentrelief.com or over the phone by calling TRR call center at 833-9TX-RENT. A fistfight broke out on a Southwest Airlines plane in Dallas Monday. Passengers were boarding a plane at Love Field bound for Phoenix when one man confronted another and started punching him. That's according to a passenger who saw the incident, captured it on video. Some passengers reportedly jumped in to help ease the situation. One of the men reportedly told passengers that the person he attacked approached his family aggressively. The two men had to leave the plane before takeoff. The Food and Drug Administration issued a letter Wednesday calling on the baby formula industry to do better to keep salmonella and other bacteria out of its products. That letter urges compliance with existing requirements and asks volunteer reporting of positive bacteria tests. Multiple brands of powdered formula have been recalled in recent months. The FDA is updating its regulations surrounding mammograms that doctors use to screen for breast cancer. One of the key changes will require facilities to notify patients about their breast density. Having dense breasts is a significant risk factor for getting breast cancer. The FDA says these new regulations will help doctors better assess and categorize mammograms. This is the first update in the regulations in 20 years. An alligator stolen from a zoo when it was just an egg is back with its family. Texas Parks and Wildlife authorities found the reptile in a pen during an unrelated investigation. A woman admitted to stealing the egg about 20 years ago from the Animal World and Snake Farm Zoo. It was a roadside attraction she volunteered at, but she raised the gator as her own pet, all while not having a permit for it. Game wardens returned the gator in the zoo in March.
We understand, even though you stole this from us, this alligator means a lot to you, and we want to make sure that you're able to come out and see it at any point, not necessarily volunteer.
The woman now faces 2 misdemeanor charges, punishable by a fine. And of course, school safety is always a big issue. Today, Region 3 hosted a school safety summit at UHV. The Spring School Safety Summit featured speakers like Dr. Lei Wall, who is the former Santa Fe superintendent, and Craig Miller, who retired as chief from the Dallas Police Department. Leaders with the DPS also attended this event, and improving communication was at the top of today's discussions.
Build a cooperation among our law enforcement and our school districts so that they can learn more about best practices, have an opportunity to network together, and hopefully just have some tools they can take back to serve their communities and keep our kids safe.
The Texas Region 3 Education Service Area provides services to the school districts in the Crossroads area. Victoria ISD is the largest district in Region 3. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6. It's been months since Hurricane Ian swept through Fort Myers, but the damage is still lingering. Also ahead, popular haircut trend sweeping both the nation and social media platforms, known as the Edgar haircut.
On February 2nd, 2023, at approximately 4:10 p.m., officers of the Victoria Police Department responded to a bank robbery at 7001 Northeast Acklands Parkway, a Prosperity Bank. The suspect was described as a black male, about 5'9", weighing 200 pounds. He was wearing a black hoodie, blue jeans, and tennis shoes. If you have any information about this robbery, call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 572-4200. All tips are anonymous. If you give information that leads to arrest or indictment, you could earn a cash reward.
Each year, hurricanes and major flooding threaten cities, towns, and rural homes across the Gulf states. So chances are there will be more storms and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Famous actor and mental health advocate Sean Astin will be in Victoria as the featured speaker in Victoria College's Lyceum Lecture Series on March 28th. Sean is known for major roles in movies like Rudy, The Lord of the Rings, and The Goonies. The event will take place at the Victoria Fine Arts Center at 11 a.m. on Tuesday, March 28th. Admission is free, sponsored in part by the Victoria Television Group.
You ain't This is Ford Truck Month, Texas. Time to get up and get into Ford F-150, part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. All amped up and ready for work or play. Plus, there's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. So get into Ford Truck Month, Texas, and see what a built Ford Tough truck can do for you. Drive Ford F-150 with 0.9% for 60 months, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days, plus complimentary maintenance.
Grocery bills remain high even though the cost of food is down. Food producers raised prices when their costs went up, but ingredient prices have been on a downswing for months now. So why aren't they passing along the savings? It may be because of other expenses that remain higher, like labor and transportation. But critics say now that companies see that people will pay higher prices, they are in no rush to give up profits and charge less. Since January 2022, grocery bills went up more than 11%. And it's been 5.5 months since Hurricane Ian, and as many as 350,000 cars damaged by this hurricane are still sitting along the streets on Fort Myers Beach today.
It just looks like cement fell out of the sky and hit it.
It's something we've seen for months now. Cars like this being towed away after Ian had its way with them.
Cars that are all blown out and on fire looking kind of things.
While we didn't see one burnt up, we did spot a sunken sedan.
Yeah, we noticed a car in the pond.
Unlike that red SUV, this car has been sitting here for months, half in and half out of this pond towards the southern end of the island.
It's actually eerie.
Despite the town cleaning up slowly but surely, we're still seeing cars like this pop up out of the rubble.
But it seems like it's worse now on the other end of the beach.
We've kind of been neglected. There is the presence of FEMA here, but you'd think that there'd be more progression.
FEMA isn't in charge of removing these vehicles. That falls on the Florida Division of Emergency Management. As of the latest count Thursday, they have hauled away nearly 5,000 vehicles and boats. And a new haircut trend is sweeping the nation. The Edgar cut has become a phenomenon on social media, so much so that in El Paso, one barber says the majority of his clients are now asking for the Edgar cut.
Well, I think it's a really big marker of this current generation. So every generation will have its different, mainstream and then its subcultures. But I think this speaks to a national trend.
I really do think that this trend will stay just because, it's gaining more popularity as we can tell right now. So I don't think this trend's going to go anywhere. Everybody still likes that cut. It's still a cool cut. So.
The Edgar cut is a popular haircut these days thanks to TikTok propelling the popularity of this look. However, what many may not know is that the hairstyle has become a way for many to connect to their Mexican and indigenous roots.
It's kind of reminiscent of that, in what used to be like traditionally the norteño culture. Now the trend is square boots instead of the pointy ones. This haircut is very dominant throughout different parts of the culture.
Frank Perez is a communications professor at UTEP, and he believes the cut is more than a trend. It's a form of identity and expression.
It speaks to identity and having to say, I'm part of this culture. This haircut kind of represents that, even if we may not articulate it that way to ourselves at the time when we get it.
For barber Nicolas Campos, he's been cutting hair for 3 years now and says barbers have to stay up to date with social media to satisfy their clients.
You really just got to keep up with the trends. Social media is a big factor in that. TikTok, of course. Everybody's starting to get all these different cuts from TikTok, from Instagram.
While Campos is able to cut several other styles, he's been getting more requests for the Edgar.
Yeah, I do. It's honestly one of the most popular haircuts that I do cut and use right now. I would say probably 70 to 80% of my clients are Edgars right now.
While this haircut may be popular with teenagers right now, others connect the haircut with mischievous teens. Perez said he believes other factors may be influencing teenagers that may not be connected with this haircut. Nearly 2 million popular Yeti coolers and gear cases are recalled. It's due to the risk of magnets in the product detaching and being swallowed. These specific products are the Yeti Hopper M30 Soft Cooler 1.0 and 2.0, the Hopper M20 Soft Backpack Cooler, and the Sidekick Dry Gear Case. There have been about 1,400 reports of the magnet line closures degrading or failing. Consumers are advised to stop using the product and contact Yeti for a refund or replacement.
Well, can you imagine all those crazy kids getting an Edgar? Good thing we never did anything like that. I got in trouble for trying to comb my hair like the Beatles,
Different time. Different times,
yes. It was when I had hair, That's the one. Well, good afternoon to everyone. Nice and warm out there. Temperatures dropping down into the 70s. We did get up to 86 as a high temperature. Over the weekend, it will be getting warmer, believe it or not, before the cool down. And we'll talk about that coming up in a moment. Stay tuned. 25 News Now continues after this.
There are too many people in our community who don't have the everyday resources to sustain a regular, healthy lifestyle. Affectionate Arms Adult Daycare helps anyone over the age of 18 who has medical conditions with the simple things that we may take for granted. Join 25 News Now live on Friday, March 17th, as we collect donations and learn more about this organization. Let's come together and help keep people a priority in our community.
Get DirecTV with a 2-year price guarantee.
You want to have purpose, to unlock your full potential. Imagine a career that fits you. With the pathways at Victoria College, you can take steps towards a high-paying career that fits you and your interests. Or save money by completing courses you need before transferring to a university to earn a bachelor's degree. No matter where you came from or where you are now, Victoria College will take you where you want to be. The world needs you. Are you ready? Victoria College. Enroll today.
T-Mobile covers 99% of people in America. So when we say we have your town covered, we mean it.
Where I live is a rural area, and the coverage has been awesome.
And great coverage is just the beginning. Families and small businesses can save 20% versus AT&T.
The savings we get allows us to do more things as a family. We're a one-income military family. Saving every month really does help us.
Plus, with our T-Mobile Price Lock, we guarantee we won't raise the price of your rate plan. Switch today.
Victoria All Sports, South Texas's largest family-owned sporting goods store. Having served Victoria and surrounding counties since 1971, we're proud to continue to meet your firearms, hunting, fishing, camping, and outdoor apparel needs. Our friendly and knowledgeable outdoor experts can help you pick the perfect equipment for your next outdoor excursion, and that our in-house gunsmith services are available long after your purchase. Come get geared up at Victoria All Sport, located at 1902 Houston Highway, right here in Victoria.
Sherry has a good time, all the time. That last, my knee went, And you know we're always laughing. Shake it, shake it. Oh my God. Shake it from head to toe. Shake it, shake
it. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Maclovio Perez. I can see the weekend from here. I don't know about you, but that's going to be a big one because a lot of people are getting out on spring break, a little traveling. The temperature right now getting down into the 70s after a warm day when we got up into the upper 80s in most areas. The winds, of course, have been blowing strong, and we normally get the March wind. That is when the storms start moving farther north and the winds roll from the Gulf Coast all the way up. What do? Well, they bring back the warm air, the humid air, the Gulf air that you are so familiar with. You can see we did have some wind gusts in the 25 to 30 mile an hour range today, and that pattern is not really changing. We haven't seen anything in terms of rainfall around the area, but it is raining right about now in the Dallas area. Here's Dallas-Fort Worth, and you can see the stormy weather. Well, no, here's Dallas-Fort Worth. You can see the stormy weather rolling through. Now, it's all sort of stuck up there. Hasn't been too serious. But there were a couple of heavier thunderstorms right about there forming along a front. Now the front, watch how it just sort of stays in that area. The front doesn't move and triggers that rain activity. This is future tracker. This is the next 48 hours. So there will be some rain maybe as far south as Waco, but nope, not getting into our area. East Texas may get something, but not us. We're going to stay on the warm, breezy side. As this frontal system sort of moves past our area. This is what we're waiting for. This is the big event. This is going to be a heavy wet storm rolling through the west coast. Now remember, they got the biblical snowstorm. Now they're getting biblical rains because they're probably going to get over a foot of rain out of this. And so massive flooding in an area that has been in a drought for what? 20 years? All of a sudden. Now, as everybody is heading out to the beaches over the next couple of days, just want to remind everybody about the rip currents. You know, the water rolls to the sand and then rolls back out. Many times it sort of funnels itself into one area, and so you might be swimming against the current and you're can't get anywhere, and then you start panicking. What you need to do is either go left or go right and come back around, because these are isolated areas where the tide is going out or the seas are going out, and you don't want to get caught up in that. And if you do, you know what's going on. All right, daylight savings time begins Saturday night. You got to spring forward and move the clock ahead. I do it Saturday night so that I'm not late on Sunday morning. And then, of course, everybody's getting ready for the weekend coming up. The boats are getting ready. The boaters are getting everything lined up, getting the Yeti out there, getting it ready for for the weekend. Southeast winds will be kicking up to about 15 knots in the afternoon hours. So for the afternoon, we're looking for choppy bays. However, you know that you got to get out there early to catch the fish. In the mid-70s this evening, pretty fair, cloudy skies will roll in overnight again. We'll be on the breezy side down to 68 tomorrow. We do get up to about an 84, and that's where we're going to be, except on Sunday. Look at this. We're going to get up to 87, almost 90 degrees on Sunday, but that's before that front comes in from the west coast and gives us a little bit of a break in the temperature department Monday and Tuesday. So have a great weekend, folks. That's your 7-day forecast. And don't forget that if you can scan that square box QR code with your phone, you can get Crossroads Today on your cell phone, and you can take us wherever you want to go whenever you have a question as to what's going to happen in the weather. And if you see wildflowers over the weekend or the next couple of days, take a picture and send them to us, and we'll share them with everybody else. Karina, back to you.
Mac, thank you. Sports director Gina Perez is out today, so tonight we have sports reporter Zach Brown.
Karina, thank you. The West Warriors have a shot to win district tomorrow. That's coming up in sports.
This one is for every parent who knows every word of their kid's favorite cartoon show. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
This Sunday, it's the event of the year, the Oscars on ABC, with performances by Rihanna, David Byrne, Stephanie Hsu and Sun Lux, Lenny Kravitz, Diane Warren with Sophia Carson, Raul Sapligan, Caleb Oriva, and more, with awards for the greatest dream makers of the year.
The Oscars. And the Oscar goes to...
Jimmy Kimmel hosts the Oscars, live Sunday on ABC.
There are too many people in our community who don't have the everyday resources to sustain a regular, healthy lifestyle. Affectionate Arms Adult Daycare helps anyone over the age of 18 who has medical conditions with the simple things that we may take for granted. Join 25 News Now Live on Friday, March 17th, as we collect donations and learn more about this organization. Let's come together and help keep people a priority in our community.
On February 2nd, 2023, at approximately 4:10 p.m., officers of the Victoria Police Department responded to a bank robbery at 7001 Northeast Acklands Parkway, a Prosperity Bank. The suspect was described as a black male, about 5'9", weighing 200 pounds. He was wearing a black hoodie, blue jeans, and tennis shoes. If you have any information about this robbery, call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 572-4200. All tips are anonymous. If you give information that leads to arrest or indictment, you could earn a cash reward.
If the last time your team won the Stanley Cup was before you were born, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Tune in to 25 News Now on Thursdays 6 p.m. news and Fridays 6 a.m. news for the Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by Pepsi, the preferred partner of local athletes.
Good evening, Crossroads. Our Athlete of the Week is a young woman who probably lifts much more than you. She is from Victoria East. Here is your Pepsi Athlete of the Week. Many people always talk about embodying the school spirit. Well, Alyssa Salceda definitely embodies the Titan spirit at Victoria East because she lifts like one. While many people think of the gym as some sort of resolution, for her, it's a lifestyle.
I think it takes a lot. Like I said, it's more mental than it is physical. Like all you have to do is just show up. Just show up, and then you get a little motivation. It's like, hey, you know what? That looks cool. Let me try it. And then you kind of just get kick-started, and then like an hour passes, 2 hour passes, and like you just see yourself in the zone of lifting and wanting to do more. It's like, you know what, this is actually enjoyable.
That mentality has led the senior back to state after winning last year. When you think she couldn't outdo what she's already done, she responds by breaking more records. This year, she set 3 more regional records by bench pressing 290 pounds, turning around and deadlifting 440 pounds. And when you factor in her 480-pound squat, her total weight came out to 1,210 pounds, which was yet another regional record. That record stood for 6 years. Even then, she remains confident and humble as she heads to state.
I kind of just pray about it, and I take a deep breath, and then I go, and then like all the nerves are gone. I think having so much experience, it really helps, like to calm the nerves. And it's like, you know what, it's just another meet, just get it over with, and you'll be done. I feel like more memories is more like important than coming out on top. It's like if I don't, it's okay, but like I know I will because God's got me. But it's more for the memories, more for the keepsake of my own heart.
Alyssa Salceda has enjoyed her powerlifting ride at Victoria East over the last 4 years as she goes for the gold one last time. Her record-breaking success and advancing to the biggest stage is why the Victoria East star is your Pepsi Athlete of the Week. Now let's go across the city now to Victoria West. 2 gigantic games tomorrow. The girls fight for playoff positioning, and the boys have a shot to win district against Flower Bluff. They have already played them once and beat them 1-0, but they know this is no cakewalk.
We know what we've been fighting for this entire year, and it culminates to this last game, trying to get that district championship against a pretty good opponent, you know, that we've already beaten before, but can't take lightly.
They finished in 6th place last year. Goes to show what hard work can do for you. I also stopped by football workouts at Victoria East this morning, and head coach Charlie Reeve likes what he sees and the end of an era. Former Astros first baseman Yuli Gurriel, now a Miami Marlin. Karina, back to you.
Zach, thank you. We're back in a moment. A French artist gives a new look to some classic artworks done by Pablo Picasso.
Stay up to date with what's happening in the Crossroads by downloading the Crossroads Today mobile app. You'll get instant alerts to your phone or tablet the minute breaking news or weather happens. Only the free Crossroads Today mobile app features weather updates for local sports. The Crossroads Today app gives you the ability to stream our daily newscast when you're on the go and share pictures or tips straight to our newsroom and so much more. Brought to you locally by Prosperity Bank with 12 locations serving the Crossroads area.
This is Ford Truck Month, Texas. Time to get up and get into Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight, including Ford F-150 and the all-new Ford Super Duty. Or check out Ford Maverick and Ford Ranger. So get into Ford Truck Month, Texas, and see what a built Ford Tough truck can do for you. There's a great selection in stock. Drive Ford F-150 with 0.9% for 60 months, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days, plus complimentary maintenance.
Are you ready to stop letting big business take your customers away? Phase 3 Digital is your #1 digital marketing resource to keep your customers shopping with you. With an office right here in the Crossroads and a team of support across the nation, we can help you wherever your business is in the online journey. From building a site to developing e-commerce capabilities to growing your customer base, we will drive results. It is time to take the next step in growing your business with Phase 3 Digital. Are you ready to take your customers back? Give us a call or visit us online to get started.
Alex Murdaugh, guilty.
He paved his own road to the penitentiary.
The body language that gave him away.
Mouth grooming, rocks back and forth. There were so many red flags in the vehicle.
But we don't see any tears.
Did you notice him getting smaller? He's turning into a smaller target.
And this is an unconscious thing when people are under attack.
He exposes the top of his head. That's submission all day, every day.
All new Dr. Phil.
The gardener was waiting for his cut.
$450 for my services.
How long had you been doing her yard?
2 years.
But was treated like a stranger.
When I went to collect the money, she'd say, honey, I don't know you. I didn't tell you to do that.
So did he leave behind proof of his handiwork?
Mr. Willis vandalized your yard, writing foul language on your lawn with bleach.
Judge Judy.
British designer Sir Paul Smith has given what he calls a new lease to life to artist Pablo Picasso's work and an exhibition he dedicated at Paris's Picasso's Museum. The 76-year-old fashion designer's collaboration with the museum comes as the institution marks the 50th anniversary of Picasso's death. The exhibition was developed over the last 4 years, with Smith drawing inspiration from the Picasso Museum's collection of nearly 200,000 pieces. Wow, look at that.
So Picasso painted 200,000 things in
over
his
the course
life?
of his lifetime, yeah.
Wow. I didn't know he did plates.
Was Picasso the one that cut off his ear, or is that Van Gogh?
No, that was Van Gogh.
That was Van Gogh.
That was Picasso.
Picasso? No, Van Gogh. Van Gogh
was the one who kind of.
But Picasso did the clock that melted. You know, it was just melting clock.
It's hot outside.
Yeah, it
would melt today if he painted it. I'll tell you that.
He was visiting South Texas. You know, he was visiting South Texas. So for you that are heading out for the weekend and thinking about what to do, well, it's going to be a nice, warm, summer-like weekend. Reminding everybody that it's Saturday night that you spring forward. With a little luck, we'll have a very warm Sunday, but only in the 70s for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Perfect weather for spring breakers. I think UHV is out next week.
Ooh, fun. Exciting time.
Nice.
They do play baseball this weekend, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for joining us. Remember, we're streaming 24/7 on Crossroads Today Plus, and we hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.